Hey, Happy New Year! Thanks for coming back to the channel. This video is going to be about a subject that's really important. To some it might be boring, but it's about weather. I have been an aviator and a pilot for a really long time and have had to study the effects of weather and how to negotiate around weather, how to forecast weather, and how to read weather forecasts. What I have to say is that it really makes a difference in your safety as you travel around and as you live wherever you live. Right now it's winter, and to me, winter storms are pretty much the same as hurricanes. You can kind of see them coming, and they last about the same amount of time. One of the things that really disturbs me about winter weather and hurricanes, when you can see them coming, is people want to ignore them, and they want to believe that things will be okay. If they're in their car and driving, they think they can get through it. And for the most part, they're wrong. Now, the Weather Service, through NOAA, publishes advisories, warnings, and alerts for severe weather. I'm going to go over what the winter ones are, and I'll come back and characterize that for hurricanes. So let's talk about a watch, a warning, and an advisory. And they don't necessarily, logically fit together. The first is a watch. A watch means there is a potential for severe weather. And the potential for severe weather is in the next 24-hour period, and between 12 and 24 hours is a watch. It doesn't mean it will happen, but it means the conditions are there for 2 inches or more of snow, or 1 to 2 inches of snow and ice, making conditions unpleasant. Now, each of these, a watch, a warning, and an advisory, has a from this time and this date until this time and this date. And if anything changes, an update is published. You need to pay attention to those start and stop times, because they are almost always dead on. Forget all this mumbo jumbo about the weatherman never gets it right. When it comes to these things, they always get it right. And so you need to pay attention and take precautions. So again, the first one is a winter storm watch. That means there is a potential for conditions in the next 12 to 24 hours of unpleasantness. You, in this case, need to decide, are you going to go out into that? Is it necessary for you to go out into that? Either you or your family or whatever. Now, if things are continuing to develop, then you get to the next area, and that is either an advisory or a warning. Advisory means it will happen. You will have 1 to 2 inches of snow, there will be some ice, and it will be inconvenient and unpleasant for you, but it will happen, and it will happen. They publish it, so it's coming in the next 12 hours. How long it lasts will be published in the advisory. So it could be, let's say that the advisory is from 8 o'clock in the morning on Monday until 5 o'clock p.m. on Monday. In that case, you will either go to work, and you're not going anywhere while you're at work because it'll be over and then you get home okay, or because of the commute time, you'll decide that you're not going to try to mess around with it. So let's talk about the winter storm warning. They are very serious because that means that over the next 24 hours, 5 inches or more of snow plus other bad stuff will happen. It's either happening right now or it will happen. How long it lasts will be published in the warning, and usually that's more than a day. Now, think about what that means to you. For me, there's no way I'm getting out in that stuff. 5 inches is a lot of snow. And unless you got a monster truck or some other thing, you're not going anywhere, right? Now, here's the thing to consider. Whether it's 2 inches of snow or whether it's 5 inches or more snow, right? Once the warning activity has started, once it's started, it's going to continue during that period. Let's say for 8 to 24 hours. I've been in somewhere I've had to be hunkered down for 24 hours in a motel room. Couldn't go anywhere. There was one time I was literally trapped in London for a week. Could not go anywhere. Could not leave the hotel. Couldn't go anywhere. It was a terrible blizzard. Now, I had no choice because it happened while I was there and there was no forecast that something like that was coming because I'd already been there for a while on business. Here, you can see it coming a lot easier because we have a really good weather service. The point that I'm making is there's the duration that the event is taking place, and then there's the cleanup. That means that the snow plows have been out, they have cleared the roads that you need, and the roads are cleared in a safe way. Now here's what safe means to me in a winter scenario. I can see the black road and there's no moisture on it. In other words, the road is clear of snow and dry. Now, why is that the case? Well, even a small incline can mess you up unless you have chains or spiked snow tires. Forget this stuff about I got all-weather tires. That doesn't mean jack to gravity. Because when you lose friction and gravity's at work, the physics is gonna take over. The only thing you can do is control the direction of your vehicle if you can control the direction of your vehicle. My point is, when a winter storm warning is in effect, just stay where you are. Do not go out into it. There is no reason to. You don't have to get there. You don't have to get home. I used to teach the guys that I taught flying. Get home-itis or get there-itis is one of the most deadly diseases you can catch. It's almost always fatal. So as soon as you hear yourself or someone else say, well, we got to get there because, the answer is always, no you don't. We're not leaving until the roads are clear. This event is over. We are not going to go out in it. But we're going to miss the wedding. We're going to miss the graduation. We're going to miss the birth of my kid. If you're dead, you're going to miss it too. So, a warning is very serious. Now let's talk about an advisory. An advisory is your commute is going to be gnarly, but be careful. I mean, that's an advisory. And it's usually for snow, like 1 inch or something like that. And the roads are going to be a little slippery. And that's when you see people on the freeway going like 20 miles an hour, on surface streets going 20, 15 miles an hour, whatever. Right? But the main point of this video is that when those three things, a watch, an advisory, or a warning happen, they are real and you need to pay attention to them. Now, how do you find out about these things? Well, if you have a weather app on your phone, like, there's a bunch of them, right? and you ask for alerts for the area where you are or the area that you're going into, they will automatically come to your phone or to your computer. FEMA has an application for both Android and Apple, and you can get their app, and their app will provide the same. The alerts all come from the same place. They come from NOAA, right? So whichever app you choose, you're going to get the right information, and you're going to get it in a timely fashion. Now, all of these apps, if you have GPS location turned on, will give you alerts for the area where you are if you are traveling. So there won't be any surprises. So let me summarize. An advisory is just, it's going to be kind of gnarly. Pay attention and be careful. A watch is that it's not happening yet, but it has all the potential to. Pay attention. Get where you need to go now, or don't leave your home now, because the potential is there. And a warning is very serious, and you need to take it very seriously. There is no reason to go out in the conditions where there is a winter storm warning in effect. And remember, it could last 12 hours or it could last 24. Usually a winter storm warning lasts more than 24 hours. So what does that mean to you? That means it's 24 hours for the event to take place, and another 12 to 24 hours for the roads to get clear so you can get out safely on them. So that's my story for this January 1st, 2019. A little safety message. If you have any thoughts or comments, please, as always, put them down below. Be safe. Happy New Year. Carry on.